hey ya, 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 hey oh hey oh hey ya ho, hey oh hey oh hey ya ho. Hey ya, 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 hey oh hey oh hey ya ho, hey oh hey oh hey ya ho, ha 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 ha, hoo, woo. Check out that wind. Oh, it's a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm underneath the cedar trees, and it's windy and blustery all over the place, but at least it's not raining out. And there's no place better to tell stories than being outside. Allow me to introduce myself. And I was taught that one of the most important things you can do in your life is learn how to introduce yourself. You see, we're always introducing ourselves by the way we walk, the way we dress, how we hold our hair, but mostly with our attitudes. And I just want to say that you have been dreamt into existence. Your ancestors dreamt about you long time ago. And here you are. So I know dreams come true because you have been dreamt into existence. So my introduction goes like this. Kaya yu hak tu asalk, daktain tana kalkita kaltu kando I huchati, ushkatanyari achat, ha ishik tihini tu asalk, chogo keridas kanakta kowe huchati, tilkita wewaya, slagi Filipino achat, gonachish, and yahusani, gonachish ho ho. I just said hi. But that's how we say hello as Native people. We don't just come up and say, hey, I'm Joe, I'm an accountant. No, when we introduce ourselves, we share with you a bit of our spirit, our story, and our history. My name is Gene Tagaban. My native name, my Tlinket name is Kayao. I am of the Dukdane Tong clan, the Raven Freshwater Socket clan from Hoona, Alaska, the child of Owushkitan, Eagle Shark clan from Aquan and Juneau, Alaska. I'm Cherokee, Tlingit, and Filipino. I'm a Cherokee Tlingitino. Yeah. That means I like to eat my salmon with rice and cornbread. Yeah. But anyways, I'm a storyteller, and you are too. And you are too. So I'd like to share a few stories with you today. And again, it's a beautiful day out here. A beautiful day. Can you hear that wind? Whoa, yeah. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, the story goes like this. One of my favorites, and I'm gonna tell it like this. Here we go. Neat way on a good way, your way, Kanonique. Raven was walking along the beach, and it was the beginning of time. The world was dark. The stars, the moon, and sun were kept in boxes by a wealthy old man. He lived at the headwaters of the Nass River. The fisherman of the night told Raven of these treasures. So Raven went to the house of the old man. Raven went to the house of Nashok Ankaru. It was there that Raven saw the old man's beautiful daughter. She was drinking water by the stream. Raven had a plan. Raven was going to free the stars, moon, and sun into the nighttime sky forever. So Raven, he changed his spirit into a tiny hemlock needle. And when the beautiful daughter went to drink her water, Raven floated down and fell in her cup. And when she drank that water, she also swallowed Raven. And soon she became pregnant and gave birth to Raven in the form of a human child. Now everyone loved this child, everyone except the mother-in-law. You see, it was the mother-in-law. She knew that that child was really Raven. Because if you've ever seen a raven's eyes, they go up, down, back, forth, and all around. She knew, said, oh no, that's our Raven right there, that Raven, that boy, that's our spirit of Raven right there. And everyone thought, oh, you're just crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. And to this day, you'll find out that still nobody listens to the mother-in-law. So Raven, it's going to free the stars, moon, and sun for all the people of the world. So that child with the spirit of Raven pointed to the corner of the house, the box that contained the stars, and he began to cry. And the old man goes, Tlech, no, you can't have that box. But he cried some more. And he gave in to him. The old man took the box down and placed it in front of his grandchild. And he says, now you don't open that box, he says. And that little baby goes, oh. So he played on the box. He ate on that box. And he danced on that box. And when nobody was looking, what do you think he did? He opened that box, and out of the box flew the stars into the nighttime sky forever. Oh God, Dios, the old man, my precious objects are gone forever. But he couldn't be upset. He loved his little grandchild. Now that child, with the spirit of Raven, pointed to the other corner of the house, the box that contained the moon, and he began to cry. And the old man goes, Clay, no, you can't have that box. That child cried some more. And the old man gave in to him. He took the box down, the box that held the moon, and placed it in front of his grandchild. And he says, now you don't open that box. And that little boy went, oh. So he played on that box. He ate on that box. And he danced on that box. And when nobody was looking, what do you think he did? He opened that box, and out of the box flew the moon into the nighttime sky forever. Oh, Kadi, my precious objects are gone forever. But he couldn't be upset. He loved his grandchild. Now I'll tell you what, Raven is patient. Raven is very patient. So that child with the spirit of Raven, he pointed to the other corner of the house, the box that contained the sun, and he began to cry. And the old man goes, Clay, no, you can't have that box. And he cried some more. And still the old man goes, no, Clay, no, you can't have that box. That child cried and cried and cried. He cried. He cried so much that he got sick. And he got so sick that the people thought that he might die. And it was the beautiful daughter. She picked up her child and said, Father, is there anything worth more than the life of your grandchild? Oh, my dear, you're breaking my heart, he says. Oh, you're teaching me a lesson. Oh, I love my grandchild. I love my grandchild. Oh. So that old man, he took the last box down, the box that contained the sun, and he placed it in front of his grandchild. But this time he says, you peoples over there, you watch my grandson, you make sure he doesn't open it. And you peoples over there, you watch my grandson, you make sure he doesn't open it. Ah. And everyone went, yes, we hear you. We will watch your grandchild. Now Raven is patient. Raven is very patient. So he played on that box. He ate on the box. He slept on that box. And he danced on that box. After a while, these people over here, they got tired, so they went to sleep. These ones over here, they got hungry, so they went to go get something to eat. And when nobody was looking, what do you think he did? He opened the box. He opened that box, and out of the box flew the sun into the nighttime sky forever. Oh, Kadi, my precious objects are gone forever. Oh. He came up to the people, that old man, he goes, I thought I asked you to watch my grandchild. What happened? And all the people could do was just go, I don't know. Well, when nobody was looking, that child that had the spirit of Raven turned back in to Raven in the form of a bird. And Raven, he took the last box, the one that they call the box of daylight, and he flew out the smoke hole with it. Oh, Kadi, yells the old man, my precious objects are gone forever. Now Raven was walking along the beach, and he had in his hand the box of daylight, and he came up to the spirits of the night, the spirits of the night, the fishermen of the night, the spirits of the night that told Raven about the stars, the moon, and sun. They had a fire, and they were cooking food, and Raven was hungry. He's always hungry. So he came up to them, and he says, give me your food. And those spirits, they go, oh, no, go away. Go away. Now this made Raven upset. He says, you treat me this way. I freed the stars, the moon, and the sun. I have the most precious gift of all the world in here for everyone. Now give me your food. And still the people, what do you think they said? No. Give me your food. No. Now this made Raven upset. So Raven took that box of daylight and he opened it just a crack. And daylight showed itself and went back inside the box. You see, I freed the stars, the moon, and the sun. I have the most precious gift of all the world in here for everyone. Now give me your food. And the people said, no! Give me your food! No! Give me your food! And they still said, no! Oh, now this made Raven upset. So Raven took that box and he opened it. And daylight flashed throughout the world. Those spirits of the night, they ran away and hid. Some of them hid in the sky. Some hid in the forest. Some hid in the waters. The ones who hid in the sky became all the birds of the world. The ones who hid in the forest became all the animals of the world. The ones who hid in the waters became all the fishes of the world. And then there were the ones. They stood up straight and tall. They looked around. They became the human beings. And they saw their world clearly for the first time. And they marveled at the beauty of it. And this is how Raven brought daylight to the world. But I want to tell you what, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, she would say, now grandson, every time you hear that story, you always remember you have a special gift and it lives in your heart. Sometimes you just need to open up your heart and let your light shine. You're the light of the world, my boy. You're the light of the world. Just like you, and you, and you, and you over there, and you back there, and you over there. All of you. You are the light of the world, and you don't let anybody tell you different. Hey ya, hey hey ya, hey ya, hey hey ya, hey ya, hey hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey oh hey oh hey oh hey oh hey oh hey oh cha ya ya ooh. A long time ago, all the animals gathered together to have a meeting. Now there was bear, mountain lion, eagle, raven, grandmother mouse was there. All the animals were there. And it was mountain lion who was in charge of the meeting. So Mountain Lion stepped forward and went, my brothers and sisters, it's so good that all of you are here. We have many important things to talk about. They were just about to start that meeting, and then they heard Rabbit outside singing as loud as he could. Nobody could hear a thing. So Mountain Lion goes out there and says, hey, Rabbit, shh, we're trying to have a meeting in there. But Rabbit kept singing away. So Mountain Lion goes, took Rabbit's leg. I know. And he put it into his back pocket. You can have that back later when we're done, said Mountain Lion. And Rabbit was outside with only one arm. They were just about to start that meeting again. And then they heard a Rabbit drumming away with only one arm. Nobody could hear a thing. This time it was Brother Bear. Brother Bear goes, hey, Rabbits, we're trying to have a meeting in there. But Rabbit kept singing away. So Bear goes, took Rabbit's other arm and put that into his back pocket. You can have that back later when we're done. Now, let's get on with this meeting, says Bear. And Rabbit was outside with no arms. They were just about to start the meeting again. And then they heard Rabbit outside stomping away with his feet. Woo! This time it was Coyote. Coyote goes out there, hey, Rabbit, we're trying to have a meeting in there. But Rabbit kept singing away. And so Coyote goes, took Rabbit's leg and put that into his back pocket. You can have that back later when we're done. Maybe. Rabbit was outside. No arms, only one leg. They're just about to start the meeting again. And then they saw Rabbit outside, drumming away with that big old head of his. Nobody could hear a thing. This time it was Eagle. Eagle rises up out of his chair, circles over Rabbit. Everyone's going, Rabbit, shh, it's Eagle, man, it's Eagle. But Rabbit was too busy singing away. So Eagle comes down, picks up Rabbit, and was going, oh no, Rabbit. And then Eagle goes, took Rabbit's head. I know. Everyone went, oh man, that hurt. But they still heard. Aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, 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 hey. Aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, 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 hey. Because Rabbit, his song was coming from his heart. And whenever you follow your heart, whenever you sing from your heart, nobody can take that away from you. So they gave Rabbit his head back. They gave Rabbit his two arms back. And they had to wrestle Coyote to get his leg back. And they let Rabbit sing his song whenever he wanted to. Sing with me. Aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, 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 hey. Come on now. Aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, 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 hey. Here we go. Aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, hey. Sing with the wind. Aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hunta hey, aya hey, hey. Ooh. Aha. Yes. So follow your hearts. Follow your hearts. And if you don't know what that means, ask your teachers. Because that's why they teach. The teachers could be doing anything else in the world, but they're teaching. And nowadays, it's not the easiest thing to do. I hold my hands up to our teachers. They're doing the best that they can, and they're following their hearts. And they're still learning. We're all still learning. I am too. About what it means to follow your heart. It is so beautiful out here right now. I sure wish you were out here. Wait, actually, you are out here. Oh no, you're in there. I wish you were over here. You hear the birds and the wind? Yeah. So I just want to share with you this quick story. And this story is about Raven. Raven. Yeah, yeah, ooh-wah, hey, ooh-wah, ah-ha, ah-ha, ah, ooh-wah, hey, ooh-wah, ah-ha, ah-ha, ah, ooh-wah, hey, ooh-wah, ah-ha, ah, ooh-wah, ah, ooh-wah, hey, ooh-wah, ah-ha. Raven. He comes back from a long journey. He's been gone a long time. He comes back to his house, his lodge on top of the mountain. Oh, and he's remembering all his adventures of when he brought the stars, moon, and sun for all the people. When he brought and got the water from a grumpy old man named Ganuk. Oh, there was this one time that Raven, he lost his nose because he was being too greedy. He was being too greedy, so he had to go and negotiate to get his nose back. Oh, and there's the time when Raven brought the fire and the spirit to the people. He even got eaten by a whale one time, that Raven. Yeah, and got covered up with oil. He was remembering all his adventures. Oh, and he was so tired, and his bed looked so comfortable. And so Raven went to his bed, and he was just about to lay himself down. And then suddenly, up through the trees, up through the valley, to the top of the lodge, suddenly Raven heard all these voices talking. Jabber, 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 talk, 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 jabber, jabber, jabber. The wind was carrying him up through the valley, up to his lodge. Oh, Raven was so tired, and he started to get angry. I just want to sleep, Raven says. Who is making all this noise? So Raven gets up. He jumps on the ledge of his lodge. And he dives down, and he flies all the way down into the valley, down to the beach. And by that beach there, on that beach, there was a village. And he saw all the people, and they're just talking, 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 not making any sense at all. One talking to the other one talking to the other, talking to themselves, standing just talking, 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 and words were being thrown out all over the place. There were words spread out on the ground. There was words floating in the water. There were words up in the trees. There were words that got caught in the wind and were just like flying by. Words were scattered everywhere, and the people kept talking. And the more they talked, the more the words just got spread out all over the place. Oh, these people, they had no respect, or they had no reverence for the words, any words. And so Finally, things started to quiet down, and all the people went to sleep. And Raven, he took a big, large bag, and he took all those words, and he started to put all those words in the bag. He scooped them up from the ground. He gathered them up in the water. He picked them and plucked them from the trees. If a word went flying by in the wind, Raven would catch it and put it into the bag. Soon Raven had all the words, and they were all gathered up in the bag. And Raven said, oh, finally, I'll be able to go to sleep. And so Raven flies to the top of the mountain and lays down in his lodge and finally is able to sleep. Well, the people, they started waking up. The first one who woke up in the morning walked outside and made a big yawn. And as soon as he was about to say something, there were no words. He tried to speak. And there were no words that came out. And another person came out and they tried to speak. And no words came out. As all the people started to come out, everybody tried to speak. And they were like going, all the words were gone. And the people didn't know what to do. So they sat around and they just watched each other in silence. And they watched. After a while, they watched. But not only did they watch, they started to listen. They listened to the wind. They listened to the singing of the birds. They listened to the waves on the shore. They listened to their own heartbeat. As they sat there and listened, and listened, and listened, soon they realized that the trees, they could hear their whispers, the little plants, the birds were actually talking to each other in a language that they could understand. The waves were carrying songs from a long, long ways away. They listened, and they heard, and they heard. The people started just to look at each other and just acknowledge each other. They gave each other hugs, pats on the back. They went for walks as they listened to the trees, as the trees told stories, as the land told stories. The mountains themselves told stories, and they listened, and they listened, and they listened. And it was one day, it was an old man. He walked out of his lodge, and he yawned. And a sound came out, and he was amazed. He couldn't say words, but he could make a sound. So he started making sounds, and the people came around and they started to copy his sounds, and soon everybody was making the same sounds, and the sounds turned into a song. Hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey hoo, hey oh, hey oh. They had no meaning, but they had feeling. So they sang with feeling from deep down inside. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. And these songs started to travel up through the valley. Up through the valley, and Raven heard these sounds. And he goes down, what is that? And he saw that the people sat in peace, singing together, feeding each other. The birds were flying down, and they were listening to the birds, everything around them. Oh, look at this. This is good. This is good. So Raven takes one word out of the bag, places it down there for them to use. That word was konachish. Thank you. Thank you. Another word. Sakwani. Love. Kunchi, family. Ah. And the people started to use their words very carefully, thoughtfully, respectfully, honorably. Just like today. Think about how you use your words, how you say things. Think about opening up your heart and letting your light shine and following your heart and being who you are. I want to thank you for taking this time with me to tell stories. Bonachish, bonachish, bonachish. Hey yo, hey yo, hey hoo, hey yo, hey